Good morning, Dubai. Our show is done. It's wrapped up. And what a show it was today, I must say.
It was so interesting. I mean, my favorite part of the show was just talking about the Emirates A380 and the showers and the facilities they have up there. It's insane.
One day, Simran, one day we will experience and we will report back to the masses. We also had a really great interview with Andy Fordham. He's a Dubai cyclist. He has been on the roads of Dubai, cycling them down for 10 years. But a couple of weeks ago, he was involved in an accident. He was on the road. He was hit by a car. And he shared his story mainly with a message of awareness to all cyclists about what we need to do in the city about road safety. So please stay tuned. That comes up right after this. Good morning, Dubai. Happy Monday, happy start of the week, and welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where, as always, we go through the top trending stories across the country. Our top story today, the president of Syria has arrived in the UAE.
And we'll also be talking about what a luxurious shower on board Emirates A380 looks like.
Dubai and Abu Dhabi were ranked among the happiest places to live. And then before we jump into our stories, we want to take a moment to remember Kayna Healy, an Irish citizen who lost her life in a road accident last week. She is remembered as an incredible athlete, a caring teacher, and a loving friend to so many.
So the news has come as a shock to the Irish community and the UAE, and who are devastated by her loss and remember her incredible spirit. Of course, rest in peace and power to Kayna.
Later in the show, we'll be joined by Dubai cyclist Andy Fordham, a member of the cycling community. Andy started the Dubai Cycling Facebook page 10 years ago, and in the last couple of weeks, Andy himself was involved in a road accident where he nearly lost his life as well. He's going to join us later in the show to share his story on that, and I just want to reiterate what Simran said. Rest in peace, Kayna. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family and close friends at this terrible, tragic time. Let's jump into our top story. The president of Syria has arrived in the UAE. Bashar al-Assad, president of the Syrian Arab Republic, arrived in the UAE on Sunday on an official visit, accompanied by his wife, the First Lady of Syria, Asma al-Assad. Upon his arrival in the presidential flight in Abu Dhabi, he was received by President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan.
Emirati fighter jets escorted the plane carrying the Syrian president as he entered the UAE's airspace, welcoming his visit. And President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed escorted the president of Syria to the podium, and the national anthem of Syria was played, while 21 rounds of the artillery were fired to welcome his visit.
During the visit, they discussed the relations between the two countries and ways to strengthen cooperation and constructive joint work which would contribute to achieving their mutual interests. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed offered his condolences to the Syrian president and the people of Syria for the earthquake victims, and expressed confidence in Syria's ability and the determination of its people to overcome this horrific ordeal and to move Syria to a new era of stability and prosperity.
The UAE president also praised the role of Syrian community in the UAE and their contribution to the UAE's journey of construction and development, and emphasized the depth of the established relations between the two fraternal peoples. So a brilliant story there.
And we have a lot of footage on that. We're sharing it beside us on our full show on Facebook, which, as you guys know, if you're watching Instagram, the full show is always on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. And more on that will be on our pages later on throughout the day. But let's jump into our next story, something that went viral on our Instagram page in the last week.
Okay, so let's get into this. What does the shower in Emirates A380 look like? So jet setters and travel enthusiasts, this one will be right up your alley. So just imagine you're on a long haul flight, tiresome, 14 hours. You're stuck in the seat for hours on end. Your back is aching. You're feeling sticky, gross, icky. Your eyes are dry, and you're dreaming of just a good night's sleep. Enter the luxurious Emirates A380 planes. They're a whole new level of fancy where you get to take a shower 40,000 feet up in the air. So Emirates first-class passengers get to experience the ultimate bucket list moment by taking a shower while soaring above the clouds. So this travel couple, share their first-class shower experience on board the Emirates A380, and it is giving, although we cannot relate. No.
Who can? Like there's Emirates economy.
Yeah.
Premium. If you got premium, you're feeling pretty good about life. Then you have business, which is like the one day you'll have there'll be a bonus, there'll be a raise, there'll be a big celebration.
Yes.
One day.
Yes.
One day in your life, you could potentially fly business class, but first class?
First. Who are these people?
Looks travel couple, who are you? We want to get to know you. However, basically the main takeaway from this video is that the flight attendants come around to book your appointment on the shower, and you can have 30 minutes of your own time in this luxury shower.
30 minutes in the shower. That's it.
That's too much for me.
I would spend the whole flight in that bathroom.
I would need 30 minutes. I would need like 3.
But shower. When you read on, you'll see.
So giving you enough time to wash away any jet lag and freshen up before landing. So the shower is metered, so you can use a maximum of 5 minutes worth of water. Perfect. We're saving the environment and having a great time, and you can easily turn the flow on and off while you are lathering up.
5 minutes. That's it. That's all you get of the shower. 5 minutes.
That's a good point.
Literally 5 minutes.
Come on, you have a shower on a flight. That's all you need. Like, realistically, you don't. It's not. The purpose is to freshen up before you land, and there's a lot of people who need to use it. So if that's the purpose, then 5 minutes is enough. They're not actually putting on a bath situation where it's just.
But imagine shampoo, conditioner, so 5 minutes. Like it goes 5 minutes.
You're not going to wash your hair. It's just a quick body shower.
Yeah, people still manage just like quick. I think guys can get away with this.
Should we like if we move it up to 7 minutes? Is that what you want to?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes. 10 minutes is good. It makes sense. But of course, you can't be too picky because it's hot water on a flight. It's like, how picky can you be, right?
Exactly what I'm saying. I think take the 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I'd take the 5 minutes.
But you guys, wait. There's more. You'll get fresh plush towels, a range of premium toiletries, including Bulgari perfumes, body creams, and a hairdryer to ensure you look and feel your best. I mean, come on. Come on. They give you all these amenities. Like, I wouldn't even go there to shower. Just go there to, like...
Yeah, stock up on the freebies, 100%. Make that money back.
A full-on Ross situation.
Toiletries, okay. Hairdryer, not okay.
Yes. And speaking of luxury, Emirates goes the extra mile by heating up the bathroom floors for passengers with the ultimate luxury shower spa experience. It's
safe to say that this is nicer than my house. There are 2 first-class showers on the Emirates A380, and each one is shared by only 7 passengers, which makes sense. So you can rest assured you'll have plenty of time, privacy, and space to relax. And after every use, the flight attendants will clean and refresh the amenities so that it appears new and fresh for the next passenger. So how's that for 5-star service? I would say it's 7-star service, and also that is good to know because some people leave the showers after a bathroom experience. You don't know who's coming before you, so
the floors get wet.
The floors
your hair
get wet.
Is everywhere.
The last thing you want is someone else's hair in a wet floor in the bathroom that you're enjoying.
That too on a plane.
Yeah. And turbulence. Maybe they'd close the shower.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No.
Imagine if you went first class one time and they were like, sorry, Simran, turbulence, you can't shower today.
You know what? Knowing my luck, that's exactly what's gonna happen. The slot that I book in my shower for, there's gonna be some turbulence. The shower stopped working, or the last person's clogged the drains, and I won't get my shower time. It's so possible.
But you're still. I mean, there's a negative. Where's the positive? You're flying first class. Life's not too bad.
Yeah, but what if you're flying first class just for that shower?
You're not flying first class just for the shower. You're flying first class, so you can be on the flight first, and everyone in economy can walk past you. That's the feeling.
Peasants.
No, but when you're in economy, you're like,
we're the peasants.
Anyway, enough on that. That is a dream. That is a dream experience. And we shared the video, and it got a lot of reaction from you guys. So if you want to join the conversation, it's on our Instagram page. You can go and add to it there as well.
Exactly. And our next story, Dubai and Abu Dhabi were ranked amongst the happiest places to live. Now, Dubai and Abu Dhabi were ranked in apparently it's the best place to be living, the happiest place to be living in the world. And this is according to the study entitled Cities of Choice. And are people happy where they live by US-based Boston Consulting Group. And Dubai and Abu Dhabi were classified into 2 different city groupings, which is cruiserweights and middleweights. So cruiserweights are cities with an urban population of more than 3 million people. They are also part of countries with a GDP per capita income that is above average, while middleweights are medium-sized cities with an urban population of less than 3 million people. These cities in countries with a GDP per capita income that is above average. So in the study, Dubai and Abu Dhabi ranked 8th and 9th in the respective city groupings, and Dubai scored 57.2 and ranked 8th amongst cruiserweight cities, while Abu Dhabi scored 57.8 and ranked 9th amongst middleweight cities. Now, Dubai ranked first in the social capital dimension ahead of Washington, Singapore, San Francisco, Agazawa, Boston, Madrid, and Seattle. So there you go.
There you go. Additionally, Abu Dhabi ranked first in the social capital ahead of Copenhagen, Vienna, Amsterdam, Warsaw, Stockholm, Munich, Zurich, Oslo with a score of 83. All great places to live. But what's cool is that this is one comprehensive survey, but we consistently see the UAE, cities in the UAE ranking highly. So we did HSBC, we topped the list for expats across the world. And it's great to see us ranking highly in terms of happiest place to live as well.
Exactly. I mean, and there is no surprise there with Dubai and Abu Dhabi just having so much accessibility, and like it's safe. It's like you have all the right things in place for it to just be the most convenient cities to live in. Hence like you're just happy by default.
So we always talk about safety, of course.
Yeah.
And there's all of the common reasons you would choose to live here when you're looking for a place to live. But then you have, today's Monday morning, and when you speak to every single person in our office, I'm sure you're the same, like, what did you do this weekend? No weekend is the same. Every weekend is different. There's always something interesting going on, whether it's like the next level sporting events, like the concerts that were on this weekend.
Oh my God.
Like you've had a wild weekend from living here, and it's incredible. Like Rita Ora, you saw this weekend?
Yeah, Rita Ora, and yesterday DJ Bliss had his concert. So it's like you said, very true. Like every day, not even every weekend, there's something new happening in the city. Something new is opening up. Like it's just new experiences, one after the other, that they are, like just putting on display for its residents and visitors. Just trying to make sure that the people here are satisfied pro max.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually one of the things we were working a little bit with RAC at the moment. And they said the main thing that they want is that people just feel happy in their lifestyle. And like Demi Lovato, by the way, was also here this weekend.
Exactly.
And if you saw the sunset this weekend, can't get over it. I'm going to continue to talk about the sunset in Dubai. We get shared stories, and Abu Dhabi, by the way, because our DMs in Abu Dhabi are flooded with your sunset pictures. Like, there's things that you can go, there's things that more so than rain. People are sharing more DMs of the sunset than of rain, which is saying a lot because you guys love to share stories of the rain.
That's true.
In Dubai, there's all the things that you can pay for, and then there's all the lifestyle stuff that you don't need to pay for. So get down to Kite Beach at sunset on a Sunday and just revel in it, because it's just like masterpiece Mother Nature showing off.
Exactly. That's so true. You have like a plethora of events and activities where you have to pay and stuff, but then you have so many free things that you can go for if you're looking in the right places. Like, for example, this weekend they had this whole wellness and just like this wellness empowerment boot camp situation where people went for sound healing, they went for empowerment conversations, and all of that was just free. Meditation, yoga, and
tell us about it before it happens.
So it's just like so many things. Like if you are following the right pages, the right people, whatever it is, like you get to know of these events, and you can just go, and like you don't actually even need to follow anyone. Like you have so many of these venues, like Casey said, Kite Beach and all the beach access that's completely free for anyone and everyone. We do
a great list written by Annika every single week of the things coming up in the weekend. But of course, we get our information from certain sources. But if you ever have anything that's cool that's going on, like send us a DM about it that you think deserves a little shout out. We're more than happy to do it, because we just want to, spread the activities going on, whether it's free, budget. We'll just throw it all in there if we think it's great. So do send us what you're doing every weekend before the weekend, so we can chat about it. Guys, do stay tuned. After the break, we're going to be joined by Dubai cyclist Andy Fordham, who is warning of the dangers of road cycling following an accident he himself was involved with in the last couple of weeks. Stay tuned. Andy's going to be with us right after this very short break. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Andy Fordham was cycling a route he had ridden more than 200 times. He thought it was the easiest and safest way to reach his home in Town Square when he was hit by a car. Andy is the founder of Dubai Cycling Community Facebook group 10 years ago, and is more aware than most of the lives that have been claimed by cycling accidents on the roads.
So Andy is here with us today to talk about safety on the roads for cyclists and how he overcame the accident. Welcome to the show, Andy.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's good to be here for the first time.
10 years, a big member of the cycling community in the UAE, and then in the last number of weeks, you were involved in a horrific road accident that nearly took your life. Can you tell us about the accident?
Yeah, I can. 5 years ago, I moved to Town Square. It was a developing new community. My main reason for moving there was A, we had to move, and B, the fact that 95% of cyclists will put their bikes in the back of the car and drive to Al Qudra and go in the car park. I thought this is going to be brilliant. I can just go there because where I come from in New Zealand, we don't have the gorgeous cycle tracks that we have here, and I've been used to riding on roads and dodging potholes and people opening car doors and everything else. So I consider myself quite a proficient, aware cyclist. It's a very short commute from Town Square. It's about 400 or 500 meters from when you exit Town Square till you get to the roundabout. Once you get to the roundabout, I use incredibly animated hand signals. I occupy a lane on the roundabout to get around the roundabout, watching everything that's going on. I only do it during daytime. Get on the track, go and do your cycle ride, and when we come back, we actually ride in reverse, which some people may think is a bit sort of bonkers. But because
what does that mean?
The way we went up, we come back the same way in reverse. Because if you try to come back from the cycle track and try to get on the roundabout in the correct way that all the cars are going, because the cars are on the roundabout, they're already going too fast, and 99% of them are going down Al Qudra Road towards Ranches. So you can never get fully round the circle to come back to Town Square. And likewise, because Town Square is on the opposite side of the track, you end up having to ride on the shoulder of the road into, with the traffic coming towards you, you still have a reasonable width of a road that you can do this on. So what I did on this particular day is, as I came off the track and I was on the road, I assessed that the roundabout was full of cars, so no car was going to enter the roundabout from the Al Qudra Road coming down Al Qudra Road onto the roundabout. Got past the first car, right in front of the second car, and he spied a gap and pulled out in front of me. Now, my saving grace was he'd only just moved out, so he'd only moved about 2 meters from his stop point where he had actually collided with me and hit my left side and bounced me into the road. And he didn't actually move much further. I ended up breaking the top of my tibia, didn't have any other injuries other than road rash. But, my takeaway from this is it doesn't matter the fact that I've probably ridden 200,000 kilometers in my life. It doesn't matter the fact that I consider myself a good cyclist. It doesn't matter the fact that I've got an expensive bike. You do not accrue credits. You don't get up on the road and say, well, you've done all this before, I'm immune. Because when you go into a boxing ring with a 2,000 kilogram car, you are never going to win. This is the reality. If you are hit from behind or head on in a bike versus car accident, 99% of the time you're going to die. So for me, I'm very, very lucky. I passed out after this actually happened on the side of the road, more from the shock. I had a bit of a nap for 7 minutes, but went into hospital, had my leg operated on, got a titanium plate in my leg now. I'm a relatively well-known person within the cycling and event scene. I'm also the event director for the Dubai Ride on Sheikh Zayed Road and the Dubai Run. So I want to use my voice and my profile to say to people, if you think you are immune to this, one day your luck will run out. And I'm so lucky. Today is day 22 since my accident. Life goes on. Everything is really functional for me. I can walk around the house without crutches. I use crutches when I'm outside the house because it's a bit quicker. But in my 11 years of cycling in this country, I know of 12 people that have died at the hands of cars versus bikes. And every one of those deaths is avoidable. And this is the people that have died. I know many, many other people that have been hit by cars on the next roundabout up from Al Qudra, where the people go to Damac Hills too. That's where cars cross the track. Cars don't stop. It's just an ongoing lottery that we run, and it's not a good situation.
Speaking of cars and drivers, I come at this from a new driver, so I'm new to Dubai roads. Did you meet the driver, and is there anything the drivers could have done differently in your situation?
Yes, I did actually meet the driver last Friday because at the time the ambulance grabbed my Emirates ID and I think they passed it to the police and then handed it back to me later on. But I sort of was in hospital for a couple of days. I didn't have any contact with the police. Thankfully, I actually have contacts with the police. So I called one of the brigadiers I knew and said, listen, I was involved in this accident. What do I need to do? He connected me with the people at our Barsha police station. A week after my accident, I popped in to see them. My main reason for popping in was to actually say, can you please phone the guy that hit me and tell him I'm okay? Because this was my greatest concern, because, at the end of the day, whether you're at fault or you're not, and I clarify the fact that this was actually my fault, in the sense that, I'd done something 200 times before, and there's no way that this driver was looking that way to see where I was coming from. He was looking over his left shoulder to see the cars on the roundabout, to join the roundabout. And then last Friday, the police arranged for us to meet. So we went down to the police station. We ended up sitting, having a coffee, having a lovely chat. And I said to him, I explained, because he wanted to know how the accident happened, because he was trying to understand why I was going the wrong way. And I explained the whole thing to him. And we left on very, very good terms. He's a lovely Englishman, been here a couple of years. I profusely apologized because, I essentially put trauma through him, and he was with his wife and his 2 young kids in the car. And we get on with our lives, because, in this country, whether you're at fault or not, if you run someone over and kill them, you're going to get detained. Yeah. This is the situation. So it's a bit of a scary prospect. But from both of our perspectives, there's no police charges or whatever else. It's just basically move on, get on with it, and everything else. And I've told them that I'm using my voice to promote road safety for cyclists.
Speaking of using your voice, I'm sure you're aware of the tragic death of Kayna Healy, the Irish citizen who passed away in a road accident last week. And we mentioned at the beginning of the show, our thoughts and prayers are with Kayna at this terribly sad time. She was involved in a road accident. What can be put in place, do you think? What needs to happen to deter cyclists dying on the roads?
Stop cycling on public roads. It's as simple as that. I mean, I'm very well, my ear is to the ground on everything. So I heard about this accident very, very early on. And within 2 hours of it happening, I was being contacted by various news media outlets, because they know that I have a voice and I've spoken about stuff before. Now, I was not in a position to talk about it. It wasn't my accident. There was kind of like an embargo for a couple of days by the family on anything about this while notification went out. But I mean, I'll be really blunt, is the fact that you need to be as black and white about it and say, do not cycle on the road while there are cars. We are gifted fantastic facilities. And even in Abu Dhabi, you have the Hudaria track, you have the Al Wathba track, not as prolific as what we have here in Dubai, but at a world level, there is nothing of the standard anywhere else in the world in terms of what we have. And I've seen it develop. I mean, I posted a picture on the Facebook group the week before my accident, because the UAE tour was in Dubai, and it was a picture that I'd taken from the UAE tour page, with a picture of Sheikh Mohammed standing on a roundabout waving a flag, and my comment was, look at this photo very carefully, because without this man, we would not have these cycle tracks here. And I just wanted people to reflect on the vision that exists in this country, because I remember when the tracks first started being built, which is how I got back into cycling. And we are being gifted these facilities, so let's not think that we are bulletproof and we are immune. Even to a degree, let me say that, one of the favorite pastimes we have over winter is we go cycling in the hills. But we just don't drive up into Schalke or Fujairah and go riding on our own. We use support cars, and we have cars that shield us or protect us while we're riding. And even one of the favorite rides is going to Jebel Jays and climbing Jebel Jays. But my thought process on Jebel Jays now is that if I'm going to go back to Jebel Jays, I'm only going to ride up. I'm not going to ride down, because it's become such a tourist place for other things, whereas 5-6 years ago it wasn't. So, we used to go up, first light, go and climb the mountain, come herring down at 60, 70 kilometers an hour and have your adrenaline rush and everything else, but it's just way too dangerous. So I think that, the black and white decision is, do not cycle on the roads. And it's something I spoke to Jonathan, the gentleman who kindly spared my life by not going too fast or hitting me any harder than what he did, was, you've got to remember the fact that if you end up in a morgue, you might not know about it, but everybody else does, the people around you. But also, let's not forget about the trauma that you cause other people who have hit you. Even though it's not his fault, it's traumatic.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
It's just, it's no different to walking through a mall and accidentally coming around a corner and bumping into someone, because you're looking at your phone or you're being distracted. It's like there becomes a blame fault type situation. And I think that people need to stop and think really carefully about how their actions will impact other people.
Thank God for your speedy recovery, number one. Number two, of the fact that there's no case on you. But it's amazing, like so commendable that you take so much accountability. Why did you decide to take accountability for this and share your story on Facebook and say, like, this is my fault, I'm taking accountability, and this is how to go about it, and road safety, like, why?
I don't believe in running away. You can't sugarcoat something. You know, I had my own reasons why I do what I do, and I would say 90% of the cyclists that ride from Town Square follow the same course of path that I do. You know, because if I enter that roundabout and I see the roundabout not full, and so the cars can merge on, I tend to ride up our Quadra Road until the cars are stationary and I ride between them. So it's a 50-50 call. And on this day, I made the wrong call because I didn't think someone was going to ride the roundabout. There's no point lying about it. There's no point trying to blame someone else. You know, that first of all doesn't help your mental recovery from the whole thing. And, you know, I'm kind of really thankful that, you know, outside is a very big scar on my leg that looks like a shark bite, which I'm going to keep telling people because it sounds a far more interesting story. Okay, my bike is broken and it can be repaired, but you know, you can't repair yourself if you're dead.
Were you at all afraid of losing credibility through this accident?
No. I mean, you know, listen, at the end of the day, as humans, we all make mistakes in life, you know, and I think that, you know, one of the I guess being a little bit, you know, humble and understanding the reasons for things. I just think we live in a society where often people are always looking for someone to blame. Yeah. You know, and I don't think that is a great way. I think you come out of it with more credibility by sticking your hand up, you know. Just it's no different to, like, you know, going around a corner, being distracted in your car and bumping into someone. I mean, and no one's going to judge you because you've, you know, lost your no claims bonus on your insurance, you know.
Very finally, for those who are not aware, you are a keen member of the cycling community, and you started up the Facebook group 10 years ago, and cycling has gone from strength to strength in the UAE. Do you want to just give us a little bit of background about the Facebook group and about how cycling has changed in your time here in the UAE?
Yep, definitely. I tell you how I actually came to be. I moved to Dubai in 2008. And I remember when I was packing up my house in New Zealand, and I'd been spasmodically cycling, but not very much. And I knew I was going to this desert location with a furnace of a summer, and I ended up selling all my bike stuff in New Zealand. I wasn't using it that much, you know. I mean, it was something that, you know, it was hanging in the garage and everything else. So I sold everything kind of reluctantly, never thinking I would ever use it again. And I moved up here, and the first 5 years I was up here, I was just working. I worked in the cinema industry. Managing a cinema, never contemplated that I would get back into cycling. Never saw Dubai as a cycling friendly city, and at the time, my son, who was this is in 2012, so my son was 3. He'd fallen asleep in the car when I'd been at Spinneys, you know, coming back from Spinneys, and we live not far from where the cycle track is now. So instead of going home, I just decided to just go for a drive out to Bab el Shams and let him sleep a bit. Oh. And this was like in 2012, and I thought, where are these people cycling? You know, there was kind of, I couldn't work out. It wasn't on the road, and it was just the start of the track being built, because the track went from where it does, from where I had my accident, and it kind of went out to Bab el Shams. That's all it did. And I was kind of curious, and I was like, wow, you know, there's people cycling on the track, and didn't really understand, you know, the profile of stuff. And, you know, I'd driven down Shakeside Road a number of times and seen a shop called Wolfie's Bike Shop, but I'd never sort of gone in there. I was kind of thinking, strange, we have bike shops in
wow.
UAE. and at the end of the day, I still remember the day. It was just kind of like, I'd taken a couple of days off work. It was my wife's birthday, and had a day with her. And then I said, I'm going out, I've got some stuff to do and everything else. And I went around every bike shop in Dubai.
And I've got some stuff to do.
And I came home, and I was bitten again, and I bought myself a carbon fiber bike with 15,000 dirhams, and I bought the shoes and the helmet and everything else. And then 13 weeks later, I did the Spinneys 92 Cycle Challenge, having not really cycled for 17 years.
Did your wife at the time know that you bought a bike for 15,000 dirhams?
Well, she did when I came home. But you know, and they're the bug. Became bitten, but also for me, I have a background in organising events. So at the time I was involved in cinemas, and then I lost my job in 2013, so it actually kind of propelled me back into organising events. So I've organised multiple running events, triathlons, everything else. It ultimately got me, you know, the exposure that I have, and leading the team on the Dubai Run and Ride since they started in 2019, which was, you know, a privilege and an honour to do all that. So it just snowballed from then, and I formed the group in 2012 when I got back into cycling, because I thought, you know, it needed it, and it's exactly what it says. It's Dubai Cycling Community. It represents what people want. They can click on it, they can learn stuff, they can buy stuff, they can sell stuff. We have 20,000 people on the group. Cycling is nuts, and even since COVID, it's gone crazy as well. Yeah,
it's a very active Facebook page. So if people want to get involved, they'll just find it at Dubai Cycling Community on
Dubai
Facebook.
Cycling Community, yes.
Andy Fordham, we really appreciate your time and your words today. Very powerful, and so thank you so much for sharing them with us today.
My last message is be safe when you ride. Wear a helmet all the time. My biggest bugbear is seeing people with kids with bike seats on bikes, and the adult is wearing the helmet and the child isn't. You know, and if you fall over, you don't have to be going very fast, but if you bang your head and you're not wearing a helmet, it's not a good thing. So please, you know, keep your kids safe, keep yourself safe. Don't let your kids ride on the road, and think about others with your actions as well.
Thank you so much.
Amazing, thank you.
Guys, that is all we have time for on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every weekday morning, same time, same place. We're also available in podcasts. You can listen to us there. That's all from me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This show is brought to you by the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.